Hello. Hello, my friends. How are you this Labor Day weekend? Are you winding down from your 3 days of rest and rejuvenation? Have you had sufficient grilled meats and icy beverages? Have you enjoyed the company of friends and family? Are you winding down? Should I talk? Should I do ASMR tonight? Like, should I should I ease you out of your 3 day debauchery into the work week? Should I help ease that? I don't think I could be quiet. Hello, Hans, number one, Jason, Christopher, Pizza Giraffe, Ray, and Zachary. Zachary is the winner chicken dinner of the coveted Jeff Strand Haunted Forest Tour book. Oh, how I wanted to win that, but at least Mitch did not win. Was just in your city the other night. Oh, well, that's awesome. That's awesome. David Malchaski's here. He caught a fishing pole. Apparently, I saw an image where David caught a fishing pole. Not an easy thing to do. You got to rip it out the hands of another fisher person. A fisher person. Danica Patrick posted that she got out. Oh my God. Danica Patrick was at Burning Man. How corporate can Burning Man be? I heard Chris Rock. So it's funny. I don't know if those environmentalist activists ordered the bad weather, because remember, do you remember? Remember this? They were blocking the road and nobody could get by. So then tribal police, I believe tribal police showed up, because this is tribal lands, and they're like, you need to move. And they're like, no, we're saving the planet today. And they're like, all right, boom, they plowed right through. Well, then everybody that was stranded on the road eventually got to Burning Man. But I think the environmentalist people ordered like torrential rains. Oh, okay, you want to have your Burning Man? We'll try to burn anything. I'm going to put all your joints out by making it be a deluge of rain in the desert, which is what? And then and nobody could get out. There was a picture of a Jeep. A Jeep. I had a Jeep. I remember once I put my Jeep in four-wheel drive. I was driving down icy roads, just swerving around. I'm like, wait a second, let's see what four-wheel drive does. Bam! It was like dry pavement. Well, there was this Jeep that couldn't make it out of Burning Man. It was just buried in mud. But yeah, Chris Rock hitched a ride in the back of a pickup. I mean, like, wow. He got a spot, not even the spot. He had a spot in the back of a pickup truck. Wow. Anyway, Phil's here. Good evening, Phil. It was under the water. Oh, the fishing pole. That's cool. I used to go to Burning Man every year. My first Burning Man was in 99. And then Y2K ended the world, remember? Y2K. Yeah, I saw a video of Chris in the back of someone's truck. Yeah, that was funny. Hello, Cat House. Will Smith was driving. I saw the new Chris Rock special on Netflix, Selective Outrage. It's pretty good. Some parts are like, all right, well, okay, if you say so. And then other parts were funny. I'd give it a 3 out of 5, maybe. Who we got? Ron's here. I didn't win Strand nor Folio Sign Shining. Nope. Here's the things I didn't win. Anything. That's the list. Never won anything. But that's not true. I did win a Brother Arc from Suntup Editions. Let's get to pouring. This is Beers in the Valley by our friend Baby Mitch. And it is my last beers in the valley. And I'm going to drink it live. A live drinking. Thank you, Phil. I saw your note about the newsletter. Yes, it's one of the main reasons I wanted to go live tonight is because I sent out the newsletter. About 30 people. 30. Not about. There were 30 people on that very first email distribution. And so 30 people signed up for the newsletter. I sent it out. If you didn't get it, check your spam. I know you got it, Christopher. I saw it was delivered to you and you opened it. Big brother, you know. So I sent it all out, and if you didn't get it, you should have. If you signed up, you should have gotten it yesterday. If not, go to your spam folder. It went to my spam folder. It is spooky, Chris. It is. It is. It's spooky. But so we're gonna do this. I'm gonna try to do it every week. Well, the thing we're using right now, we're not going to be using for much longer. I know it's funny. We're starting out, so it's going to look. It's not as well designed as I would like, but there are limitations to what we're using. Hopefully that will go away because producer Jill is a graphic designer. She kicks ass at graphics designs. And so our hope is that we get something really beautiful and fun to read every week. Where do I sign up for the email, the newsletter, your.fun? No. What newsletter? David Malchowski. It's in the description of this live. If you go into the description, it'll say Jeff Ward newsletter. You click on that link. You know what? I could try to post it. So next week, even more people can go and enjoys. Let me grab it out of the depths of. I'm live right now. Look at that. I'm live right now. I'm in my dashboard, you know, the Jeff Ward newsletter. Oh my God. Here's the link. I'll put it in the thing right here. And so, yeah, it's in spam. It went right to spam. I mean, again, I think it's part of the reason, part of the problem of the platform we're using. Actually, when producer Jill opened it up, it gave her a warning. It says there's a link in here that's taking people's information. And I didn't link to anything other than Amazon and certain publishers. So everything's bona fide. These are all places I've been to. So it's buggy. I apologize for that. We're working on it. It was indeed in my junk folder. Yeah. Hopefully that is sorted out. It was fun to do. I enjoyed doing it. I'm going to try to keep these sections pretty standard, like what's coming up that I'm looking to buy or interested in. What is the thing that's pissing me off this week? You know, I'm just going to try to take on some things that I think need a little bit more deliberate thought than me spouting off. Expat Dreamer is good here. Is good here. He says, "Good evening, good sir," and that word "good" went into my brain and came out of my mouth right away. Got it done. Okay. So, and then I have some book reviews. Maybe if there's things I'm watching, I'll say, you know, what am I watching? Just some thoughts of what's going on in the publishing world right now. For example, I mentioned Fawn. Oh my gosh. I mentioned Fawn in this. So Conversation Tree Press is doing, hey, Sean Ford. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I didn't say hi to you, Sean, but I addressed the issue. Rants in the newsletter, you just sold me on subscribing. Yeah, rants. You know what? I discovered rants are more fun when they're spoken because when you write them out, they just seem like you're an angry old man. But, you know, I am. So it kind of does work. So it's interesting. It's interesting. You know, Patty's here. Chad's here. Chad's here. A writer has subscribed. It means I have to up my ante. Frankenstein by Centipede may be coming up Sunday. I don't think he's that close because he was even talking about that's one I really wanted, but I can't get it. No way. It's probably going to be like a $500, $600 edition. Bernie Wrightson's Frankenstein. And he's talking about reproducing the art, but he can't do it in color. The best way to do it is in black and white. I'll be judging all your grammar. But yes, there was a fire hose of stuff from Centipede Press. Now, the funny thing is, I was gearing up my newsletter. I had some real last minute problems getting that newsletter to deliver. It wasn't finding the audience. I couldn't tag the audience. It was stupid. So while I was doing that, I read the Centipede Press newsletter. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of stuff in here that maybe I'll incorporate in the newsletter, but it was too late. So I had to go around it and go forward. So, all right, Lance, thank you. Yes, the Blood of the Impaler is coming next week, but soon he's going to try to do, what is it? Frankenstein, Bernie Wrightson's Frankenstein. I mean, how awesome is that? But he had like a ton of stuff in the newsletter. And it's like, man, you're killing us. You're killing us. What day was it? It was yesterday. Yeah. So We Have Always Lived in the Castle is shipping. The Club Dumas sold out. I prefer Wrightson art in black and white, akin to King's Cycle of the Werewolf. Yeah. So Blood of the Impaler, Hobgoblin Lives, Frankenstein Illustrated. Are these books any good? 2 titles by Daniel F. Galoye. He's all about those comic books, man. So he's asking, oh my God, this is Frankenstein. Wacky packages. 10 toes in every bowl. Fitina. Wow, that's sick. That's sick. Anyway, whatever. He loaded it up. He loaded up the newsletter. It's too much to get it through. The Dark Universe and Simulacrum 3, Dark Universe. So these are titles, obviously, I would. I'm confused. Cycle of the Werewolf art was in full color and glorious. Was it in all of them? I thought I saw Cycle of the Werewolf in black and white. I don't recall though. I don't own that edition. So anyway, that's, yeah, Bernie Wrightson. So anyway, I was talking about Fawn. Fawn is Cycle of the Werewolf was originally designed to be a calendar with 12 full color illustrations. Well, that's cool. But King's Story took off and became a book. Oh, Cycle of the Werewolf. I see. It's a cycle. It's a lunar cycle, but also a solar cycle. Soul cycle. Suicycle. Psychosocial. So Fawn, a book by Conversation Tree Press. Did you see, if you saw my newsletter and read that part, I couldn't, I'm like, there were 4 editions, 4 states of this book. So anyway, there are 4 states of Fawn, and I think it's funny that this story, which is about the inherent dangers of excess and how you're supposed to hate people who are wealthy. I mean, that's basically, it's funny. The son of one of the richest authors in the country is writing a story about how he doesn't like wealthy people, or how wealthy people are evil, or how they'll inevitably do things that kill things. Said the kid who's never had to worry about a dime in his entire life. And he never will. The kid Joe Hill is probably my age. So, my fingers are like Lincoln logs. So anyway, it's a story about the evils of excess. And then there's a book, there's the publishers doing it in 4 states, one of which is $8,000 for a 40-page story. $8,000. And I have 2 copies of this book, of that story. So one is in this one, At Home in the Dark. This is anthology edited by Lawrence Block that came out in 2019 from Subterranean Press, and it was the first ever appearance of Fawn. And I also have it in Full Throttle, which is Joe Hill's collection. And the story is okay. I mean, it's okay, but I have 2 copies of it without even trying, right? And I know the inevitable comparison for people would be, well, The Lottery was a short story that Suntup did in a limited edition capacity for at a similar price point, and it's not even signed by the author. Well, you can't compare Fawn to The Lottery. There's no comparison at all. The Lottery was groundbreaking and a huge cultural impact from that story. It deserves a standalone edition. It is worthy of it. And Shirley Jackson's grandson did the art for it. So, and of course it's letterpress, handmade paper. They had all the stuff that is fancy, right? So Fawn doesn't merit the same pedestal. It's an okay story. It's very entertaining. It doesn't live up to its full potential. I mean, you can't. The problem with reading a story, and the problem is it's too big. It's too imaginative. Joe Hill creates too big of a world and then doesn't explore it, and so the reader is there going, "Oh my God, what about this? What about that? Oh, I'd love to have seen this." And so you become this person reading what's not there, wanting more. It's like a story half told. So uh that is why I found it ironic that this is the choice of the story. It's not nearly important enough for an $8,000 price tag. Everything on the Conversation Tree website is so, it is written like everything is so damn bespoke, like everything is so very special and considered and labored over, and like so here. And I didn't know what bothered me about that when I was reading all the descriptions of these 4 states. um it's like, how can I be a champion for Suntup and talk about how great Suntup is and how I love those books when they're crazy expensive and there are editions that I can't even possibly imagine owning, and then talk about Conversation Tree Press in sort of a dismissive tone. I think the difference that I get, the vibe I get, and the reason why I've always been a Suntup champion is because I think Suntup has a love of the books. I think Suntup loves the books they do. Oh, Stephen Dwayne Housen Jr. shows up just now. But there's a love of the book, right? There is a love of the story, a love of that magic. Where the vibe I'm getting from Conversation Tree Press is a love of luxury, right? The love of the luxurious brand, like a Rolex description, like the delicate appointment of gemstones throughout, delicately balanced the timepiece with the jewelry aesthetics. I don't know, just all kinds of stuff in there that, like, for example, on Conversation Tree Press, they're like, and the material of the spine accepts the foil stamping wonderfully. Accepts? Like, you asked permission from the material on the cover if it will take the foil stamping before you did it? Oh yeah, we accept it. We'll accept it. Go ahead. So just the whole vibe of it just feels so not my tribe. You know what I mean? Not where I'm at. And so when I read the story, I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to read this story and I'm going to see if I even think it's worth the $225 edition. And no, I don't think it is. Not as a standalone story. Not as the entirety of the book. I mean, I read it one sitting, and it was not like I closed the thing and went, "Wow, man, that really that was a seismic shift in my thinking and how I see the world." It didn't nothing like that. It was interesting. It was fun. It's a fun story. I recommend reading it if you have full throttle or at home in the dark. It's enjoyable. It's not important. And would Conversation Tree Press even do the book if it wasn't Stephen King's progeny? Would they even take it on? Like, this isn't a Thomas Olde Hoovelt short story. You know, it's not like they're doing just anybody. It's like I think they're trying to get inroads with King, and uh, I just think that would be the thing they're angling for. Like, look at, but it's just way too special. It's too special. It's too bespoke, and it feels like it's favoring the presentation instead of the story or the love of the written word. That said, people may be buying that $8,000 Roman numeral edition. There are only 10 in the world. And that is something that's a trophy. Like it again, the story is about these people who spend insane amounts of money to get the biggest, best trophy. These rich people are on a trophy hunt and they meet up when one of them's about to kill a lion. That's not a spoiler, it happens right away. And then things unfold. But these are big game hunters, and then they want to kill these animals and then have it as a bragging right, and it's stuffed on the wall. Had to chuckle in exasperation when reading today's newsletter from Borderlands that was rife with mistypes as was trying to sell their products. I didn't even see the Borderlands. I must have unsubscribed. I've got to, oh man, I was subscribed. I don't unsubscribe from things unless I'm angry. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. Maybe I was so pissed off at Thomas Monteleone that I did. The Lottery was groundbreaking at the time and dull letdown when I read it a few years ago. The Tunnel Ahead by Alice Glazer. Glazer was better. Um, okay. Well, I mean, I think so. Sometimes they're groundbreaking, but then by the time you read them, that because of the echoes, right? The things they set into motion, you've already feeling the impacts in the art, in the culture from that detonation. And so therefore it's not as groundbreaking to you at that time. So for example, if you're looking at Rosemary's Baby, or what are some of the other books that I've read that Suntop did? And Psycho. Oh my gosh, Psycho. Groundbreaking book. By today's standards, if you gave it a new name and title and the text was all the same and you posted it on Books of Horror, they'd be like, "Oh man, they don't even talk about the murders. Like it's kind of boring. This what, like nobody would even care, but it laid the groundwork for all that followed." Is King signing any of the editions? Then not worth it. Nope. King is. You know what? If you want a copy, if you want a book that has Fawn in it and a Stephen King signature, then you got to get the lettered edition of Full Throttle by Subpress, and it'll be in there. that that King surprise signed it for everybody because he's got a story he co-authored with Joe Hill in that edition, and so he signed it, and that's kind of fun. I think he must be in with William Schaefer. It's kind of cool. But so you can get a Fawn, and I don't even know how much that costs. Lettered Full Throttle. Should we dare to look on eBay? I doubt there are any copies. Will it be less than $8,000? Um, uh, hold please. Hold please. Oh, and by the way, there may be ads halfway through this live. I had to agree to something. I had to agree to things before they would I don't see a lettered full throttle, but I see full throttle signed, which I have one. Um no, there's a limited edition for $375. But you know the thing with that is you for $375 you can get a signed limited edition of Full Throttle that has fawn in it and many other stories. So, Full Throttle, you could buy it now, numbered, Subterranean Press, $344 was sold on eBay. I mean, it's silly to do that. I don't think it's worth it for a minute. Um, it's like a better played Mr. Purple Con. In some ways, yeah. Okay, posted in the Jeff Ward, the Bernie writes and illustrations for Cycle the Werewolf. Thank you, Hans. Very nice. Email from Borderlands keeps going into spam for me. They're trying to spare you, Lance. Hello, Truck VR. Hello. I didn't even get an email from Borderlands, but I should have. I got to look at it. Wow, just interrupted by 2 ads. I'm sorry. I don't know how they're going to do this. I don't know. Yes, I had to skip an ad and missed part of what you were saying. How dare they? I was going live and when you click monetize, it's like, okay, fine, I monetized the video, which is maybe in the beginning. You'll see some ads, and then it wouldn't let me progress. It's like you must accept intermittent ads. So halfway through or at their points, they're gonna put in ads at some point. Not everybody's gonna get an ad at the same time. And so I picked the least intrusive setting they would allow. So, um, I had not heard of Conversation. Their weird volumes curated by St. Joshi Lovecraft aficionado look promising. Yeah, that's Stephen Wayne Allison Jr. is interested in the weird volumes. So that is something to look into. But again, they are going to be a fine press. They're going to be a high-end press. They're going like what Suntop did. If you ever do you ever see Attack on Titan? You ever see that show? It's awesome. It messed me up. It was really scary at first, but um basically Attack on Titan, there are these walls around this last little island of humanity, and these people live in the city. And then one day this Titan, which is like 150 feet tall, kicks a hole in the wall, and then all these other shorter 50 maybe 20-foot titans come running in. They start eating the humans. So that's Suntup was that first titan, and he kicked a hole in the wall. And now all these other publishers are like, oh, people have $500 for a book now. Oh, okay, I have a book I can sell for $500. 500, 800, 2,000. The problem is that the moment Suntop hit, it was different, man. Suntop came about, then COVID hit. Everybody was in lockdowns. Nobody had events or any. They had more discretionary spending because they weren't going out as much, and so they were collecting more. And so Suntop, boom, exploded. Everybody wanted them. They were selling the secondary was bonkers. Those days have gone. But when other people saw that business model, like, damn, I'm gonna write me a bespoke website and sell some books for $8,000. So they start to rev their engines. They start to build their machines. They start to come after this rain. It's raining money. Let's get the wheelbarrows out. And then it stopped raining. And then those pools were there, pools of money, and they started drying up. So I don't know, man. I don't know. The secondary on Suntop has tanked on a lot of the stuff. I think Winterset Hollow was a big hit, Suntop had to come down with those print runs, and maybe The Last Unicorn is going to be huge. I don't know, but it's not a slam dunk, even for the person who basically invented the game. And so when I see this Conversation Tree Press, um, they did Peter Pan. It looks gorgeous, and they have a relationship with one of the premier bookbinders in the UK, which is great. And they're doing another thing that fine presses do. They drop names. They're saying who is doing the bookbinding, who is doing the letterpress printing, who is doing that. Where are they getting these things from? And so they're really going after that fine press thing. Suntop introduced a lot of genre readers to fine press, but they didn't bring them fully into the world. What Conversation Tree Press is trying to do is trying to like really go there and be fine press, balls to the wall fine press. So far, it hasn't worked with Peter Pan. And has anybody looked to see if Conversation Tree Press uh, was getting a lot of hype, and the Fawn limited editions? Let's see, is the standard still available? Pre-order. Yeah, the standard for $225. Their most modestly priced Joe Hill receptacle is $225. It's still available. The deluxe state for just under $500 is still available. What's the limitation on that? The limitation on that is 200 numbered copies. So they're like, wow, we see Suntop brought it to 250. We're going to bring it to 200. We're going to be right at that $500 price point. It's signed by the living author who is the progeny of the king. They're name dropping, they're like, it's printed letterpress on Nomad letterpress. It is handmade custom marbled paper from Paper Wilds. These are all linked, so you could go to these people's websites. Look at me mangling English. But people are not biting. The deluxe state, 200 copies. This was opened for pre-orders on what was it, Saturday? Was it Friday? I don't remember when this was open for pre-orders. It's going to be all about the price point for the weirds. Yeah. I had $500 for a book. Well, this isn't even a book. That's my problem. It is Fawn by Joe Hill. It is 40. It's 50 pages, this book, this standalone. It's a book. It's got boards and interior pages. It's only 50 pages. So it is its own thing, and it is a book, but it's just a story, man. Like I said, here you go. There you go. I don't know what I paid for this, but I bought it. It was the trade edition, first edition. Where did I buy it from? Water Street Bookstore. I believe that's in the UK. No, New Hampshire. It's not. And if you recall, my channel used to be called Jeffing Off. And so I had Joe Hill sign it to Jeffing Off. Best wishes, Joe Hill. And Fawn is in here. Yay, Fawn is in here among many other stories, including one he co-authored with Papa Daddy called Throttle. And then this is Full Throttle. So I have a signed first edition that isn't really pricey, and many other stories. And it's just one short story. It better be the most important short story ever written. It better have like a big cultural impact. Hellbound Heart is a novella, That's just brilliant. I mean, it really gets at okay, so Fawn gets at the excesses of greed and what money will buy you. And and uh and yeah, I mean, it's basically the disgusting nature of what wealth gets you, which Joe Hill should know about. And um which is a nice topic. Does it get there? I don't know. Does it really make a point? I don't know. It's entertaining. Hellbound Heart talks about obsession, love, betrayal, some super timeless things. Super timeless. Listen to me sounding like I'm Zach from Zach's books. Um, but it doesn't. But Hellbound Heart it spawned movies and it had more cultural impact. Will Fawn ever get that? No, not now. I don't think. Just checked out Arian Press again. $10,000 a year for 3 books. That's their subscription model. Damn. Yeah, they're total fine press though. I would not pay big money for a children's book. Sorry, I know I am a monster. Um, are you talking about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? They should print a Chismar. Oh, what a dog. Chismar's a dog. The Peter Pan is beautiful, but I'll stick with my American first edition copy. Yeah, the Peter Pan is beautiful. And Amaranthine Press also did some beautiful stuff with Alice in Wonderland. And there are all these presses that are trying to scoop it up and trying to leapfrog off of the Suntup model. Suntup is still going strong. I worry. I worry for Suntup, but especially with these other players in the game, they're like it's like if you follow politics at all, which you shouldn't if you value your mental health. Um, when you have this two-party system, which is broken and stupid, you got people are like with Ross Perot came on the scene, and when you got uh, Howard Dean, and you got all these other these candidates that come out of nowhere and they siphon off some of the vote off of one party without it weakens one party's base because they're intrigued by this other one, so they siphon it off and now you don't have like a strong candidate anymore because some of that excitement's leaving. Well, that's like with Suntup. You got Suntup and now you got these other ones and there's a finite number of these dollars going around. As Tyler said, I had $500 for a book and then I went to Burning Man and I had to pay $500 for a cab for a ride in the bed of a pickup truck to get out of there. But there's a finite pool of money. And so you got more vultures at the feast and there's only one water buffalo, man. What are you going to do? You're going to run out of meat. So, anyway, we were talking about fun. The gears will be coming for you next. Though the gears are Tony and Andy are the brothers who do Conversation Tree Press, and I'm just speaking the truth, speaking honestly. If they want me to talk glowingly about the press, then I don't know. I was going to say that I can be bought with a Roman numeral, but I don't. No, I would appreciate a Roman numeral, and I would happily show it. I would turn around. Here's the thing: if I got a Roman numeral fawn sent to me free, grazie, I would sell that with a quickness and not even worry about it, with no regrets. Like I got the lettered red dragon. You will have to murder me and then pry that book away from me. There's no way in hell I would give that book up. If I got the Roman numeral fawn and somebody's like, I will give you $7,000 for that right now, I would say, Give me $7,000 and it's yours. I would just hand it over. 7,000. You get $1,000 off. I would have no love of that book. It's all the fun parts of capitalism. See, now that's the problem, Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr. Capitalism is they had a vision to do these books, and they try to do their homework and figure out if there's a market pie share for them, and they can go after it, and they're doing it. And I'm free to say yes or no. The problem is when you have capitalism in bed with the government, and then the government forces you to buy products from that business or subsidizes that business with tax dollars. That's the problem. That's where capitalism fails. Look at college tuitions. Why do you think college tuitions are where they're at? It's disgusting because the government is subsidizing college education. It's disgusting. I mean, forget it. I'm not getting into it, but I will say what Conversation Tree Press is doing is great. Like, do it. If there are 200 people that want fawn and we're going to spend $500, and look, I'm even bringing attention to the press. People can go look, and if that is your bag, you can buy it. You don't even have to tell Beef Daddy. You don't have to tell me you bought that dirty, dirty little book. You could go ahead and buy it. And if that's something that brings you joy that you see, that's great. But I don't like if the government said, you got to buy this book, or we're going to give them $200 for every book they sell, and they, whatever. Do you have the Sun Tup, The World Doesn't End? That one is short and expensive. Yes, I have it. And that was a novelty. Would I do it again? No. Would I do that again? It was a different era. I never owned a book of poetry. I read it. I loved it. It's a different trippy experience. It is one of the most gorgeous books I have on my shelf. I also have The Lottery, which is a short story. So I can deal with the hypocrite slings and arrows, but I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not. Now, I will say The World Doesn't End. Was it culturally significant and important by the measure that I gave for The Lottery? No. I don't think so. It was his passion project, and I went out on a limb and I did it, and I bought it. And yeah, we love books. I love books. Do I like books? I love books. Has anyone else looked at Century Press from Canada? Barker is a legend, son. Damn right. Barker is he's a better writer, better author than Stephen King, hands down. No doubt about it. No two ways about it. Take Scarlet Gospels out of the consideration, and I will go. But if you put Scarlet Gospels in there, then I'll have to roll my eyes. I don't think he wrote Scarlet Gospels. I think his that guy that works with him, that's running some shit, I think that guy wrote Scarlet Gospels based on some loose outlines from Clive. That's my theory, and I have no evidence to back it up. But you know what? It's social media. We don't need evidence anymore. They have done a few nice letterpress classic books from The Great Gatsby and The Sun Also Rises. Price is less than $200 for leather and letterpress. Yeah, I think Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr. had a Century Press book. Cheers, Couch Kitty. I'm glad you guys can hear her. She wanted to say hi. We're thinking of letting her go. Yes, I splurged on them all. Nice little books. Century Press. Mitch is here. Hey, Mitch, pour yourself a Beers in the Valley. I'm drinking my last Beers in the Valley. I think this is my last Rapture, Mitch. My last Rapture. Beers in the Valley. By the way, nap time is over. Mitch is here. Lance, I didn't know about Century. I will check them out. Mitch. Powell's Indispensables still hasn't come back. Oh, there was a press from Powell's bookstore? Barnes and Noble does their own productions of books, which are fun. It's fun. Um, by the way, last week I was dying, and I don't know what if I'm going to get demonetized by talking about this, so I'm going to be careful with the words I use. I had a certain virus last week. Last week I was sick as hell. And like after I went live the next day I felt like garbage. Everybody feels garbage after they attend one of my lives, so that's pretty normal. But we had a bunch of at-home tests that we never ordered. A set of at-home tests came to our house addressed to somebody who's never lived here, or at least hasn't lived here in the last 18 years. We bought this house from the previous owners who lived here 18 years. And the person on the address label was not the people who we bought the house from. But it was our address. It was bona fide. We checked it 3 times. That set of tests came to our house and we did not order them. They just showed up. And then another set of tests came to our house with the previous owner's name on the address. So all these tests show up. And then I was talking to my sister-in-law, and she said that her neighbors across the street got a bunch of tests, at-home tests for this virus, that they didn't order them either. And it came to their house with a different thank you for the free tests. Why are these tests going out? If you want to talk about the dangers of capitalism, who is paying for these tests to go out? And nobody ordered them, and yet they went out. Somebody got money, Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr. Somebody got money. I'm not saying conspiracy, Lance. I'm towing the line. I'm just saying there are people who get money and get reimbursed for sending out X number of tests. They can mark it off. We sent out X number of tests. Who ordered them? Nobody, but we sent them out. Give us our subsidy. Bingo. Well, anyway, we had them sitting around, and so I took one. And the test said I had it. That's what the test said. Now, if I was a conspiracy theorist, which I'm not, I would say, oh, no, someone got paid for doing something good for humanity. Okay. All right. If you have a politician who's friends with somebody who makes something and they get a juicy government contract for making that thing, and then the politician's like, okay, well, I could spin it this way that this is good for humanity. So therefore, we'll give you this money for a thing nobody asked for. And then they send it out and they get all this money. And then they buy a yacht. And then Just Stop Oil throws money or throws paint all over the side of their yacht. Who's the bad guy? Who made that person rich? Do you know how many people got rich during the pandemic? Do you know how many people got filthy, filthy rich? Did they take that money and say, you know what? We profited from this tragedy. Let's take this money and give it to the people who suffered from this tragedy. No, they got loaded beyond belief. Oh, yes. Thank you for the shirt. Thank you for the change of subject. And hey, not all conspiracies are theories. Yes, I got this. This is a Nightmare on Elm Street shirt. I got it at Walmart. Sam Walton has a yacht, I'm sure, from capitalism. And I love it. So I saw the shirt. I also got a Pennywise shirt. I also got a funny pun shirt. It's a pun. It's a pun. Yes. So $8 at Walmart. Also, look at this badass thing right there. Do you see this? That's the dude, El Duderino. If you're not in the whole brevity thing, that is a birthday gift I got from my broham. Dude, there are warehouses full of those things, yes, and all the rich got richer. But at least the people that made the test weren't telling us to drink bleach. Well, if you're going to drink bleach, all I'm saying is There are bad guys everywhere, and you can't just say, "Well, these people are not bad guys because I'm told they're not bad guys." And these people are bad guys because I'm told they're bad guys. You gotta make your own opinions, you gotta come to your own conclusions. The dude does abide. Subject change. How far into Dune are you two? Jill, how far into Dune are we? So she sighed, but that's like she's still not feeling well. We're not well. And I gotta say, I am reading this book. I think Heart of Darkness is my favorite book. Way the mystery of Kurtz keeps building. Can we all take a moment, please, on huzzah, producer Jill? Huzzah, producer Jill. Is that going to make you feel better? She's not answering me. She says yes. I'm reading this. This is an amazing book. Okay, so we're talking about the 2010 Nightmare on Elm Street. That was interesting, but disappointing at the same time. Wait, Queen of Bedlam is, I gotta say, I'm not far into it. I just started, and as Stephen Dwayne Elson Jr. knows, I don't really read that fast. It's much to his chagrin when we're in secret book clubs and all. But this is awesome. I'm loving this book so much. And I wanted to read it before I saw Robert McCammon at the Alabama Booksmith. Links in the description. You can go see it. Or you can go get a signed copy of his new one, Seven Shades of Evil. And I wanted to at least get further into the Matthew Corbett series. And this is so good. A book I really loved back in the day was The Alienist by Caleb Carr. That guy was like a one-hit wonder. He wrote The Alienist, and then he wrote Angel of Darkness. There was a sequel to that, and those two books, but Alienist was amazing. I love that book. Angel of Darkness or Angel of Death, I don't remember what it was called. It was okay. It was okay. It was great to visit again that world. And then he had another book called Killing Time, and that nobody really read, and I don't know what happened to him. But the 2010 Nightmare on Elm Street was interesting because I love the new Freddy Krueger makeup. They try to go with like, this is what a burn victim would look like, and how brutal that is. It's awful. And then they played and they did a dance of ambiguity in the movie where they're like, I don't know, did he really kill these kids? I don't know, maybe he didn't, and this was just mob justice, which oft goes awry, which is why we try to have a legal system in this country. But it oft goes awry. So maybe he didn't murder all those kids, but maybe he did. And so they do this dance, and then it ends in an unsatisfying way. But they never followed up. But I liked it. Because I was such a huge fan. I just recently watched a lot of the old Nightmare on Elm Streets. Like, I didn't watch 1 or 2 because I've seen those so many times. But 3, 4, and 5 are on HBO Max. And they're so bad, but they're so good. Dream Warriors is the best still. I'm like, I got to watch these again. And I watched Dream Warriors, and I thought I thought, oh my God, this is all cornbread. This is so bad. It is so bad. I remembered it so much better than this, and I'm like, well, I think maybe 4 and 5 will be better than I remember. They were actually worse than I remember. The Dream Master and then the Dream Child. The Dream Child is garbage. The whole Alice, the Dream Master and Dream Child, those two with Alice, I guess they're trying to do Alice in Wonderland. I don't know. Those were just stupid, awful. Alice is the worst character. But I did not hear about this. You're saying this, anyone heard about the Nightmare on Elm Street video that is supposed to air on YouTube? Not sure if the guy playing Freddy is, but it's not Robert. No, I didn't hear about that. I would love that. Because the thing with Dream Warriors, what I really liked is that's when they really blew it up. So, like, Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, played with the tropes of nightmares. You're running, but you're not going fast. There's something chasing you, and it's like super long arms, and like there's all that slight bending of reality, and then he kills people, and he doesn't really get creative. And then you have Nightmare on Elm Street 2, which is a standalone. It's like it's its own thing, and it's kind of weird. It's not like any of the other ones. And then 3 comes along, and they're like, all right, we're really gonna push this whole dream thing. Because if Freddy's this ultimate villain in the dreams, maybe the kids can be ultimate heroes in their dreams. Let's play up this idea that if you can control your dream and you're real intentional with it, maybe you could do some amazing things you can't do in real life. And that's when they really started to get that they could have blown up the whole series and been amazing with that. But then 4 and 5 just tanked. And I haven't seen 6 in a while. My second favorite Corbett book. I'm reading my first McCammon book, The Listener. It's gritty and hard to put down. The Listener is awesome. It reminds me of The Shining in some regards. That's a great book, man. That is a great book. That's your first McCammon. Oh, well, congrats. I think I just got my brother-in-law to like really be a McCammon fan, and he's really digging. He read Speaks the Nightbird and Swan Song, and he loves Swan Song. So I gave him Queen of Bedlam. So, we'll talk about that on the way to Alabama Booksmith. 7 Shades of Evil. We are getting old. I am old. Speaks the Nightbird was too long. Good, but too long. I don't really remember it. I read it when it first came out in 2003, 2002. And I haven't read it since. And so it's weird jumping into the Queen of Bedlam after all that time. And you know what's funny? I'm picturing Matthew Corbett. I forgot the actor's name, but he was one of the dads in Cabin, Knock on the Cabin Door. That movie based on Cabin at the End of the World. He's also one of the FBI profilers in Mindhunter. So that guy. I'm picturing him as Matthew Corbett. I don't know why, but I can't shake that guy's face now. And it just appeared. He just appeared there. Saw the 30th anniversary 3D Jurassic Park yesterday. Even better than I remembered. The sequels are shameful, as sequels often are. What is one of the best sequels ever made? Hellbound Hellraiser 2. That's a great sequel. And then 3 is awful. Mitch, are we still on tomorrow? Yeah, I'm are we doing it tomorrow? I'm on if you are. Which Nightmare on Elm Street was the guy with the knives on his fingers? All of them, Hans, all of them. But 6 is the one where it's a new nightmare, where Freddy is actually going after Heather Langenkamp. So yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is the Halloween 3 of the series, but not good. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's its own thing, man. You got to watch it. Yeah, Speaks the Nightbird was 2 huge paperbacks. I just don't remember feeling it was too long. I don't remember that being my impression. It's possible. Couch Kitty's strolling by. She's strolling by. That's close to me. I'm in freaking Bama. You got to go then. Birmingham, Alabama. And seriously, when I cross the state line into Alabama, there's a sign that says Sweet Home Alabama. They know what everybody's listening to. All those out-of-towners, all those yokels. Yep. Aliens is the best sequel. Yep. Good one. I didn't even think about that. Too old for the character at this point in the story. He was also the bad Indian kid in Creepshow 2 with the long hair. Uh-oh. Someone's yelling in the other room. I guess they want to go live. You guys want to go live? Have a great week all. Okay, take it easy, Phil. Take it easy. Best remake, The Thing. Second best remake, The Fly. The Fly with Jeff Goldblum. Amazing. Was that David Cronenberg? No. Who did that one? Best horror movie sequel is The Bride of Frankenstein. Conversation Tree Press. All right, what else do I got to talk about? I don't know. I think you know what movie I got to see again is Fright Night. Remember Fright Night? The Fly was Cronenberg. That was awesome. You got to watch The Fly. So the original The Fly with Vincent Price is like basically another gaslighting story, right? So it's like the scientist disappears and his wife is like losing her mind. She's like, he's here. I hear his voice. I know he's around. I know he's here. I know he's here. And everybody's like, you're crazy because you're a woman. And she's like, no, I know I'm a woman, but I'm not crazy. And they're like, you're still crazy because you're a woman. Who's gonna believe you? And her husband is a fly flying around, and no one will believe the woman. And then later on, Big Bird experienced the whole thing with Snuffleupagus. Same thing. Now I want to watch The Fly again. Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park reminded me he was wonderful. Jeff Goldblum. Oh, he's so gold. He's so bloom. Before The Fly was going to make David Cronenberg's Frankenstein, but that fell through. Oh. Well, that would have been good. David Cronenberg, he did all kinds of stuff. And didn't he play Decker in Nightbreed? Wasn't that? I met Jeff Goldblum at the airport working a couple of months ago. Did he get you an apartment? Apartments.com, the best place to find a place. Cronenberg was Decker. Yeah. I'm getting all the Cronenberg trivia tonight. Alex, I'll take Cronenberg for $800. Cronenberg. Didn't he do one with twins? We had Jeremy Irons. What was it? Ringers? Dead Ringer? Oh, Cronenberg trivia. $800, Alex. Dead Ringers. Ding, ding, ding. Look at that. Jeremy Irons. Cronenberg. Man. What happened to Mitch? Where did Mitch go? Videodrome with James Woods. I know all the Cronenberg movies. I got this. Well, you'll beat me. I think I just ran out. So that's why I'm like, all right, I'll change the subject because I have no more Cronenberg information. He was awesome as Decker in Nightbreed, which is more Cabal, which is more Clive Barker. I'm here. I'm packing up boxes right now. Gosh, multitasking. Get off my back, Jeff. Most people forget Cronenberg directed The Dead Zone with our friend Christopher Walkens. His name's not Walkens, but walk-ins are welcome. My favorite De Niro quote is in a Christopher Walken movie, The Deer Hunter. De Niro holds up a bullet. He goes, this is this. And he did it years before. Bill Clinton would say that depends on the definition of is. Dead Zone is probably the best King movie. Now, more cowbell. I don't know. Do you think so? I got to reread it and then I got to rewatch it. I was partial to the It. Goldblum was testing ice cream. Wow, at the airport? That was Zachary that said that. Yes, you have to. I'm gonna reread it as the PS Publishing edition. Um my phone was bugging. Uh yeah, I gotta read it because the art in there is awesome. And I always say I'm gonna read it in an election year. I always say that. I say things. I always say things. And then I say them and record them, and then they bite me in the ass later. I thought the original Pet Cemetery was one of the best King. Okay, yeah, yeah, with Herman Munster there. God, I forgot what was Herman Munster's name, Jill? Fred Gwynn, Jill. Gosh, that's not Cronenberg trivia. Fred Gwynn. Um, Judd Crandall. And I liked it. No fair. Oh my God. No fair. No fair. That was a good Stephen King movie. I love the I can't say that guy's last name. The Andy, the It chapter 1 and chapter 2. I love those. I love those. Um I mean, you got Shawshank Redemption and Green Mile are exceptional King movies. So, and Pet Cemetery I really liked. Um, Best King movie, Misery, then Shawshank. Misery. I forgot about Misery. How did I forget about Misery? Yes. Yes. Don't go down that road. Those two were great also. Yes. Favorite Stephen King comfort film? Maximum Overdrive. Stand By Me. Yes. The Body. Yes. Oh my gosh. Those are the ones we forget. The best, I gotta say, the best Stephen King movie, Lawnmower Man. Lawnmower Man. Oh, what those movie makers did just by buying a title from Stephen King. They're like, hey, Stevie Babes, Stevie Bubsy, we want to do the Lawnmower Man. Okay, great. Pay me like $8 million. Great, great. Here, here's all you need me to do the screenplay. No, we got it. All right, well, do you need the transcript of the story? No, we got it. Well, seriously, do you want me to tell you what I think are the pivotal scenes? No, we got it. We just wanted your name and the title. That's all we wanted. We're gonna do some movie magic with Jeff Fahey. Oh, we're gonna get him in there. This thing's gonna be amazing. I just need the title and your name. But the single movie that best represents King is Creepshow. Meteor shit. I said what I said. Christine is coming back to theaters. Christine is awful. I just saw it. Me and my daughter watched Christine. What a bad movie. The guy is walking right down the road and the car is on fire behind him and it's going to drive him over. What does he do? He just shuffles a little bit faster right down the middle of the lane. He's like, maybe if I go a little faster, this car won't be able to catch up to me. You're not even Usain Bolt. How about get off the road? Because that's not a Jeep, you moron. And then the one kid gets smashed by the car because he refuses to just step up onto the hood. The car has him like he's in this little alleyway and the car can't make it through this little squeezed in area. But the car digs deep and realizes, yes, I can, and goes forward, but it's going so slow. All the guy had to do is climb up onto the car and he would have lived. Storm of the Century scared me senseless when I was younger. The wizard's going to take you away and raise you. I once watched all 8 Children of the Corn movies in order. You are just a hero. You're the hero. Not all heroes wear capes, Hans. Jeff Fahey was delicious in Lawnmower Man. Jeff Fahey, remember when he had a career? Sounds like you already lost, Hans. Salem's Lot miniseries destroyed me as a kid. Yeah. Snark infested waters. That's great. No reason or explanation needed, Max. Born in Sin, come on in. So the Salem's Lot miniseries was like a whole tradition. Everybody watched that. Unlike Friday 13th movies, which are bad, but all the films are the same level of bad, so they are fun too. The Children of the Corn movies start fairly well, but swiftly decline in quality. Oh, well, the first one's all about religious fanaticism. And I guess Stephen King said he was driving through uh, the vast Midwest or the Great Plains, and nothing but like religious preachers were on the radio. And that is true. If you've done a lot of road trips for work or pleasure or what have you, and you don't have a book on tape or satellite radio, you are going to be listening to some fiery sermons for at least some of your trip. At the end of it, you're going to feel like you belong in hell. And so you could see that, like when you see, the desperation, the fanaticism, the scary fundamentalist evil. Oh, I mean, by the fifth Children of the Corn movie, you'd rather watch Hallmark Holiday Special. I can't even imagine. I think I might have seen the first two. I don't think I've seen any other ones. I was big into the first one when I was a child. Because I'm like, great, how do we kill these adults? This is like our how-to guide. Or Turkish Spider-Man. If you want really bad, watch the movie sequel to Salem's Lot, Return to Salem's Lot. Yet are not there big stars in those terrible fields of corn? I love watching yesterday's B movies and seeing today's A-listers. You mean like Texas Chainsaw Massacre with, or Leprechaun with Jennifer Aniston, Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Matthew McConaughey? Oh man, yeah, some of those A-listers. Johnny Depp got his start in Nightmare on Elm Street. That was the first movie with Johnny Depp. So, full circle. I didn't watch The Last Children of the Corn. Part of me doesn't want to, because I'm afraid of how much more awful it'll be. Return to Salem's Lot is bad, but it's by Larry Cohen and has a ton of fun in it. Don't knock Turkish Spider-Man. We don't know what with bullshit he has to put up with. Oh my gosh. I gotta say, I would like a Bollywood Batman movie myself. I would. I loved Maximum Overdrive. He wrote it and he directed it. Emilio Estevez was involved. Maximum Overdrive. Oh, well, I mean, he was at the height of fame, and that didn't ruin his career. Nothing was going to ruin his career. I don't remember Maximum Overdrive. I just remember I was just a rabid Stephen King fan at that time. And I was so happy there was a bona fide Stephen King movie that he made. And then, the dude abides, man. The dude abides. It was a lot of fun. He had a great soundtrack. Yes. Who made who? AC/DC. Excellent soundtrack. Ride On is on that soundtrack. Ride On is perhaps the best AC/DC song. Ride On. So is Night Prowler. If You Want Blood. I'm a Bon Scott, boy. I'm a Bon Scott boy. Bollywood Aquaman has a ton more potential. I didn't even consider that. Stephen Dwayne Johnson Jr., 100%. I love Maximum Overdrive when I was a kid, too. Stephen King wrote and directed Maximum Overdrive, but it was produced by Cocaine. Cocaine Bear paid Stephen King a visit. Then they climbed onto the magic unicorn Pegasus and flew to the land of make-believe. And before they knew it, there was this movie starring Emilio Estevez. It is all about Bon Scott, man. Oh, what? I'm trying to think. There's another There's another Bon Scott AC/DC tune that's just amazing. Just awesome. Anyway. Didn't Cocaine write Cujo? Yes, it did. Cocaine did write Cujo. Big desk full of cocaine. Wrote Cujo. I'm getting a poof going tonight. I'm doing the poof. Powerage. Yeah, man. So what else was I going to talk about? Conversation tree. Cemetery Dance is doing this bullshit. You want a Stephen King grab bag? And it's like basically you get a baseball card, a postcard. It's like all little paper. It's probably like a little envelope you're gonna get, and it's their Stephen King. Oh, excuse me, Stephen King grab bag for $99. There's two ways to get it. One way, you get it by paying $99, and the other way you get it is by guess what? Becoming the boogeyman, and they will send you this $99 value Stephen King grab bag for free. I mean, you got to lose a little bit of your dignity and self-respect. But in related news, I entered the Becoming a Boogeyman giveaway on Goodreads. Yet again, I enter it every time they offer it. I never win it. I don't win the book. But I swear to you, I swear to God, if I win that book, I'm reading it. Even if I'm struck down with a virus and capitalism. If capitalism and a virus conspire to kill me, I will still, the last thing I'll read is Becoming the Boogeyman. If those fine folks at Gallery decide I am worthy of reading Chiz's Whiz. The Chiz Whiz. And you know what I'd use as my bookmark? My refund check from Cemetery Dance would be the bookmark, and that Becoming the Boogeyman. So that's what I'm going to do. I just picked up Exorcism of Winchester House today. Weird House Press flash sale. Yes. Thank you, John. And John, thank you for representing with the Jeff Word shirt of the Fracassi event. I meant to say that. Thank you so much. That meant a lot when I saw that. Loved seeing that. Thank you. It means a lot. It really does. I'm old. I don't have many other things that in my life left, like I'm dying. So it's fun to see these things. They're like, hey, I remember when I was alive. So yes, Winchester House, it's half off. If you are somebody who doesn't have a buying freeze, well, it's not exactly half off. It was $120. It is now $65. And I'm a little worried that John, you saw it in my glasses because that is on my screen right now. Well, there is an arc in the grab bag too. Yeah, an arc that's either a Stephen King story. So it could be Pet Sematary arc. It could be any of their Doubleday Years arcs. Could be The Stand. Could be something insanely awesome. And I'm sure some people will get something insanely awesome. But it could also be an anthology that has a Stephen King story in it as well. So, free King arc, but it might be something like Shivers 8. Yeah. Did the check clear when you cashed it? Yes, I cashed that back in 2020. Yeah, that's when my personal life went all over the cliff. And so I cashed that check with a quickness, and it cashed. Oh, it cashed. John Fahey is my favorite person right now because he brought you to the show. Fracassi Night was fun. T-shirt made me popular. Well, I'm glad it didn't have the reverse effect, which is my concern, that bullying, if you wear a Jeff Word shirt, you might get bullied. That's not a good commercial for my shirts. I understand that. So I'm glad that Hans got a ride there. That's awesome. He got literally everything signed. My leg was falling off, so I only got 2 books signed that night. I met Fracassi. Okay, so riddle me this. Somebody was at the Fracassi event, and they brought their Earthling edition of Boys in the Valley to get signed. It's already signed. but they're like, but it's not inscribed to me and it's not double signed. I want it to be extra special. And I'd never considered that because I'm like, once it's signed by the author, move on, get something that's not signed. So I don't know what you guys think of that. Is that a common practice to take one of your signed editions to get signed? Oh, hello, Baron. Good to see you. Jeff, you plan on jumping on Holly right away? No, I don't. Darren's here. Darren's good. Darren, like my father before him, is here. Hello. No, Baron. I don't plan on jumping on Holly right away. I may never jump on Holly. That sounds awful, but I may not read it. I'm not a Holly fan. I did enter to win the free arc. You know what? I never checked. Did I win the arc? If I won that arc on Instagram and I didn't pick it up, that happened to me once. Okay. We're looking. Now I'm like intent here. No, I did not win the arc. But if I won it, I would definitely read it. If I got a free copy somehow, I would read Holly and review it. Holly Gibney's not my jam. I don't know. I wore my Books of Horror indie author brawl shirt. Yeah, I saw that. That was cool. I did that with Josh Mellerman. I brought signed limiteds for him to sign to me. I never considered that. That is interesting. Love things signed to just me. Oh, man, it's okay. I would do that. Josh Mellerman double signed my inspection. Nice. That is nice. Oh, so I will think about that. Like I'm gonna go see Robert McCammon, and maybe I'll bring my swan song, my sub press swan song, to have him signed to me. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Something to think about. Curious King, Stephen Dwayne Ellison Jr. You should be happy to know that it sounds like he's going to be shipping books, man. He's got all the art in for the first law, the blade itself, and he's got that art, so he's going to be shipping at some point, you know? So I don't know if that butters your muffin, Stephen Dwayne Ellison Jr., but Curious King seems to be gearing up. And again, Curious King, when you compare to Conversation Tree Press, again, I think Conversation Tree Press is in it for the love of luxury and the love of money. And I don't think they're motivated the same way as Curious King and Suntop are. My opinion. And I know the Gears are big collectors. They collect a lot. But I think they're trophy hunters. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel like the same love of the book. The book is a beautiful thing, and I don't think they have that same regard. What if you just brought the same book for an author to sign? I have it signed each time you see them. Like, what if Josh Mellerman signed your Bird Box 7 times? That's cool. That's a neat thing, man. You get him to sign it and date it every time or whatever. You just know that, you know, whether or not he dates it or not. That's cool. That's an interesting thing. I wish she was the Holly from Outsider TV series and none of the rest of her appearances. I gotta say that I started to feel bad. Like, am I just hating on this person? Because am I just hating on this person who's like supposed to be this person on the spectrum? Am I like, is it like you're hating this person because of that and not, you know, like, does it say something bad about you if you hate on that character? Like, you don't have any time for quirkiness? I just happen to think Stephen King handles anything other than white men very poorly. Um, I've touched on everything. It looks like Fracassi has concluded his tour, his U.S. Canada tour, and he's going to be going to the UK. The UK. Fracassi's going to the UK. So, if any, Darren, you could go check it out. So this one's for you, Darren. I'm glad you showed up because you can go check out Fracassi, the Unholy Trinity, Fracassi, Catriona Ward, and someone else. I don't know who that other person is. No, I don't think so. You may feel like me and just be over king using tired, outdated tropes still. Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't want it to be like I'm hating on somebody. Was a bias exposed? You know, because I saw this meme or this somebody was talking. They're like, if you hate somebody and then find out they're on the spectrum, it doesn't matter that you now feel bad about it. You hate people who are on the spectrum, something like that. I'm not remembering it exactly, but it was food for thought. And the old duder's head, food for thought, something to think about. But I just happen to think Holly Gibney's an awful character that handled poorly. And I gotta say, Stephen King had another quirky character in Mr. Mercedes, and that was Bill Hodges' girlfriend, who kept crinkling up her nose and saying the cutesy little things, and I just wanted to kill her. I just wanted to murder her. She's a fictitious character. I'm not threatening violence on anybody. You know what I mean? Nope, there is only one spectrum. We are all on it, and yes, we all suck. I agree with you, Stephen Wayne Nelson Jr. People are awful. Bingo. But anyway, I'm going to be wrapping it up. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to put it in the microwave, and I'm going to reheat it. And then I'm going to finish my beer, take the garbage out. And let me know if you guys, again, anybody joined late, and if you've subscribed to the newsletter, check your spam folder. It's there. I swear to God, it is junk mail, but it's there. You could put that. This is junk mail. You could put in your inbox and read it. And if you got any insights or tips, just come to my live. Leave a comment under this video, like, "Hey, I'd like to see something about X, Y, or Z in the newsletter. That'd be fun." I'm trying to solidify the sections and just have fun with it, and have a lot of fun with it. And I will see you tomorrow, Mitch. We're a secret little meeting. I will see you and Stephen Wayne Nelson Jr. That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that bigly. But anyway, thanks for joining me this week, and I will be back next week. And I hope you have a great week. The dude abides, man. Good night, book people. The best people. Book people.